Hey, future Aaron here. In the clip you're about to see, I mentioned that I'll show you a clip. I'm actually not going to show you the clip, and I'll explain that more at the end of the video. I'll come back as future Aaron once again, and I will kind of elaborate sort of present day, the way that I look at this, and some of the things that I kind of maybe not have confirmed but pieced together about this particular situation. But the channel's about documenting my day-to-day, and this is how that day went, right? No one ever talks about things like this, and I think it's important, right? Because look, dude, this is life, you know. It's not all fun and games and rainbows, but I'll send it over to me now. All right. So this one hurts a lot deep down in here. I'm really upset about this customer that I just lost, because she's been probably one of my first customers. I remember it like yesterday. Did door hangers in this little neighborhood, and she was one of the first to call. And she's been a customer ever since, 10 years straight. And you know, this year has been difficult dealing with her, and I don't know if it's an age thing or just, you know, I don't know what it is on her end. I know what she says it is, but you'll hear in a minute, right? Listen, this is the real stuff, dude. Like, it's just difficult, right? Because there's some customers I'll leave them, and because obviously they suck, but this one, like, dude, it sucks, man. It sucks. Like I really feel this one. And say what you want about it, business, relationship, like listen, I'm running a small business here, and I mean that like in the traditional sense. Like, I love to get to know these people, and I want to learn their yard. I want to help them improvement and treat it like it's my own, and I want to do right by everybody and be respectful and all this stuff, right? So, you know, I've only had a couple price increases, and they were significant, but it was one of those things where, like, I held out on my prices for as long as I could. I think for 6 years, I charged her $35 per cut every 2 weeks. Now, you think about that. I'm a young man. I had nothing. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I had thankfully paid off equipment, so it wasn't the worst thing. But the equipment I had at the time, it was taking me, you know, probably 45 minutes to an hour to mow it. $35. And, you know, she didn't have any landscaping or anything at the time, so I would just like spray a little rot bed or whatever, and the one small flower bed she had, right? Couple years I was charging I think it was $50 a cut, and we tried that for a couple years, and it just, you know, listen, equipment, it's expensive, it goes up. And I had a discussion with her about this. I said, look, I'm sorry, like, I can't keep doing the 50 a cut. Like, can we do 75 a cut? It's every 2 weeks. It takes me 20 minutes to drive out here. It's like, it's a 30-minute, you know, 35-minute cut with a corner lot, edging all the way down. So it's all the way down our sidewalk, and then the sidewalk opens up and goes all the way down the street. It's a lot of edging. Also, we installed a flower bed for her last year, and you know, she's only paid for mulching it once ever since we've installed it, and of course the weeds run rampant, and that's the issue, right? All year long, every single week, mind you, on a bi-weekly basis, and by far the rainiest year we've ever had. Every single week she has pointed out weeds. Now, mind you, I've been on top of her weeds. She's not really had any weeds. The last 3 visits, she mentioned weeds. 3 visits ago, she's like, look at that weed coming through, that I've got weeds. Mind you, again, I'm on top of her weeds just as a courtesy, just because, like, she's been with me so long, and I like her, and I'm already planning on going for that. But then she comes out and she wants to ask me, look at this weed, look at this weed. I'm like, okay. And I yank it out. It's one singular weed in all this flower bed. It wraps all the way around her pool that I installed. There's no weeds in it. There's no weeds under the pool. It wraps all the way around her house. There's no weeds under that. We installed a new annual flower bed this year. There's absolutely no weeds in that 3 visits ago, right? There's the one singular weed, and that's what really started to trip me up. And I was like, wait a minute, you have asked for weeds, something about weeds, every single time I've been out this year, right? And it just started to kind of dawn on me, like I'm already doing this, like just kind of like a robot, like I'm already doing this for her. But for some reason, she's starting to point it out every single visit, and we're talking about one singular weed. So I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I pulled it the 3 weeks ago. Well, she calls me, not today's visit, but last visit, 2 weeks ago, cussing, saying this new flower bed is the most embarrassing. It's covered, absolutely covered in weeds, being devoured. And I get out there, and, she's like, it's killing all of my plants. My plants look awful. It's horrible, yada, yada. And I get out there. Mind you, she's not been watering it. But thanks to the rain, everything is full of blooms, beautiful, perfectly fine, healthy. There's 2 weeds in it. Crabgrass, so it got a little big in the 2 weeks, but I explained to her, like, you're on a 2-week schedule. Things are going to grow. It's the rainiest season of the year. Things are going to grow. And she's like, you can tell she's not, like, understanding or not accepting the fact that it's raining, weeds are growing, you're on every 2 weeks, you're adding all of these high-maintenance flower beds, which, by the way, I made sure to discuss with her, and I've told her, look, it's going to cost you $430 in mulch every single spring, and I'll let you tell me when to put it down. And she's never done it. We've done it one time. Okay, your hedges that you're putting in, all these rose bushes, in a couple years you're going to have to cut those back every single fall. And sometimes you might have to prune them out, thin them out a couple times a year. You're going to have to pay for that. All this other stuff, it's going to have to get cut back. Like, you're going to have to pay for that. Like, this is an extra maintenance. Like I would not have installed this and said, oh, don't worry, in perpetuity, is that the word, perpetuity? Forever and ever, I'm just going to pull all your weeds in this wraparound flower bed landscape. I'm just going to trim all of your hedges on a monthly basis. I'm going to do all this. I'm going to make sure none of your flowers ever die for $135 a month, because that's what we're charging her. Okay, and that's what she's complaining about in this clip that I'm going to show you, saying that because I was just trying to kind of ease into the fact that I don't charge anyone. I don't charge you for this. Just kind of you've been with me a long time. I really appreciate you. I want your stuff to look good, but we've discussed this mulch. We haven't done your mulch this spring, and I told you if we do your mulch, I will for the year keep your weeds out of it, because I want that to look good if we do your mulch in the spring. But you got to do the mulch, the $430 we talked about, right? She's asked me to do it one singular time in the 3.5 years that's been installed. So obviously it's overrun with weeds, yada yada. She's got a rot bed. It washes out in these heavy rains. It's got weeds in it. And I've kept them sprayed out all year long. There's not a weed in it at all. They're clean. They've been clean for months and months and months. Like clean. In the last 3 visits that I've been out there, I've pulled 7 weeds total. I can literally count them on my hands. But she wants to keep mentioning it. And I had to today. I had to ask her, because she, we come out today and she's pointing at these old wilted weeds from last week that I sprayed, because they're woody weeds. You pull them and the root stays and it kind of doubles. So I sprayed it just so it would actually die and go away. And she is pointing at them, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I'm looking at the brown weeds. I'm not counting as weeds from 2 weeks ago, right? Like, those are going to wilt and go away. they're fine. They're nothing. And she starts saying like little snide comments. And but it's 3 weeds. Like, do you need to get your glasses checked? Are you not able to see? Like, just really smart alecky asshole shit. And it kind of pissed me off. It really did. And I tried to go in as calm, cool, and collect. Like, I got the whole lawn done, right? I pulled those 3 little dead weeds, okay? And I just knocked on the door. And you can tell me how I handled it. Obviously, I get a little emotional just because, like, this is a long-term customer, and she's not handling it like she kind of did a know you, right? Because, again, I just tried to explain. Everyone else pays for these extras. But you're getting a little, you're asking every single week. You're kind of, it feels like you're kind of taking advantage of, by the way, what I already do, but also, something that you don't get charged for. And you're only paying $135 a month for your lawn to be fully, like, clean, striped up, no clippings, edged on a corner lot. Like, there's a lot going on. And yes, it takes me 30 minutes to do it because, you'll hear her say that. And I didn't say this in the conversation, but I'm going to roll the clip. You tell me how I handled it. Again, yes, I got emotional because this is a long-term customer and it's not going well. And that hurts because, like, again, that small mom and pop shop kind of thing. Like, I don't want to be this big corporation nonsense of just kind of greedy. Like, I really feel like I was treating this lady right. And I'm in a situation where it's not like when I started. When I started, it was just me with no debt, with no house, with no wife, with no baby. All of that is the exact opposite now. And I've got employees, and I can't just be spending all this extra time. So, because it's not just me anymore. Like, there's a lot of expense to do this thing. And it costs me a lot of money to, yes, be able to get in and out in 30 minutes, and it costs me a lot of money to have never missed a single mowing visit for this lady in 10 years. Okay? So, again, I'll let you listen to the clip and judge me as harshly as possible. But this is just for the sake of, this is the reality of things. And, maybe this is a good deterrent for, don't get too emotionally attached to your customers, right? Maybe raise your prices to cycle through them every so often or something. I don't even know. But, like, this one hurts, dude. This one really hurts. I lost another customer a couple weeks ago. I don't even care about him, and he's been with me for 4 years, but he was always an issue. But this one this took me totally off guard. And I just wanted to ask her, like, you're kind of taking advantage of not charging. Can we just be a little bit more spaced out and a little bit more understanding about what's actually the service being provided, and she didn't handle the conversation well, and I pushed too much. I should have backed out. But yeah, listen to the clip. I'm rambling. Hey, Future Aaron, back again with a little update on this situation. So, to be as quick as possible, I genuinely think this customer has a little bit of dementia setting in, and there's a laundry list of things that make me think this. Again, super sudden change in personality. Like, she used to be like the most genuinely sweet, kind, generous person ever. In regard to the weeds, right? She would really not even ask that often because I generally stay on top of it. But she would really not ask, and I would just kind of spray it and it'd be whatever. And she would always offer, $30-$40 extra for spraying the weeds. And I was like, no, there's not really that much. It's fine. I'll just get it. For almost a decade, that was our conversation. No, it's kind of, I'll just take care of it. It's fine. But then all of a sudden this year, again, personality shift, right? It was like a huge point of contention, and she was getting very angry and aggressive with it. Whereas before it was like, please let me give you money. Please, it looks so good. Please. So, again, the price increase to $75 was pretty much her idea. She encouraged me to do it. And we had a whole long conversation about it, like 2 years ago or a year and a half, whatever. And again, all of a sudden it's I'm taking advantage, and I'm only here for 30 minutes. Nothing's changed as far as the service goes, other than the price that she was very happy to pay when we discussed it. So personality shift. All this year there was a ton of falls, just a ton of falls and car accident. I want to say, I think a couple of little minor car accidents, lots of health issues, all that kind of stuff. And the thing that my wife pointed out that she's got a master's and works around folks with dementia constantly, and so the thing that she picked up on that I would have never picked up on is the obsession with the weeds, which to me, again, just it got under my skin because it was all of a sudden, and it was the total opposite reaction of prior years, because she would call every week, even on the weeks we weren't scheduled, and be like, hey, the weeds, can you get the weeds, they're everywhere, the weeds. And then I would go out there and there would just be no weeds, none. I mean, with the exception of the one or two that are just gonna pop up. I mean, there's not a landscaper watching this video in the world that's not gonna have one or two weeds in a flower bed, right? It's just how it goes. And then just the meanness around it, saying things like, do we need to get your eyes checked? What's wrong with you? Can you not see that right there in front of your face? Like, just really aggressive. Like, she would have never said that in years past. I feel like even if I was just egregiously messing up and doing something wrong, I think she would have found a nice way to just fire me. I just, total personality change, the obsession over the weeds that aren't really a problem, the falls, the health issues. A few times, 2 or 3 times this year, she called me after like 3 or 4 days of mowing and said, my lawn, when are you coming out next? It's been, how long has it been? And we're like, it's like 4 days. It's like, oh, are you sure? You're certain? I was like, yeah. I mean, I was just there like a couple days. I mean, it'd be hard for me to get out now, but maybe I can come to look tomorrow. And then I go look and there wouldn't be any growth. Like, I mean, it would be time. I cut her lawn down to 2 inches because it was all weeds, and like, it just didn't need it. And I would go over it because she insisted. And, it was just weird. Like all year, just weird stuff like that. And like I say, I've had quite a few over the years, customers go into the kind of dementia stages. And it wasn't until my wife kind of pointed out, because I'm sitting here telling her this story, and all of a sudden she goes, well, that kind of sounds like my dementia patients. And then I think I audibly gasped. I must have audibly gasped, because it was like, oh no, like it made all of the sense in the world when she said that, right? Because I've seen it. There's been 3 or 4 old folks over the years. I've seen this, and I was like I've kind of learned to deal with it, because I still have a handful of folks with dementia, and they're all different with how you handle them. But like, if I had that information at the time that I originally made this video, it would have felt differently, right? But it just took me so far off guard, because that's what that disease does. And please understand, I'm not a professional. I'm not making a diagnosis, and no one is making a diagnosis. Like, I don't have any contact with any of their family or anything, but that's an answer we'll never get for sure, but it just kind of makes sense. It just makes sense, based on everything I've seen working where I've worked in the past, and dealing with dementia folks. And again, my wife was just like talking to her. It's like, this kind of sounds like my patients. and she, just the way that she said it was like, oh, that has to be like, again, we're not making a diagnosis or anything. It's just, it falls in line. And, this is one of those things, man, that's like, I guess all that to say, like, you need to get the whole kind of situation kind of in your head, right? Like, take some space away from things. And this one's a tough one for me, because like I don't get all of those pieces all in one sitting, right? I get little small interactions. I get the one phone call, and it's a weird phone call, and it's like kind of frustrating, right? And I get the one story of her falling, and it's like, oh, okay. Like, obviously, I don't get anywhere near as much as like her family might have, information wise, right? So I just get little bits and pieces of the symptoms, right? But when I was sitting there laying it all out for her, it just kind of clicked, right? Because then it's all there laid out, right? But we're not diagnosing anything, and again, you have to sit back and try to make sense of things, because you might not have the full story. And I know a lot of you blue collar guys out there, you're not like me. You're not going to get sentimental. You're not going to feel any real emotion. You're going to get aggressive, and you're going to put a little pissy about it, right? And there's just, you just got to step back, and you got to step away from things and get a clear head. And again, this is one of those situations that the way it was going, it was never going to be work out well. And it's going to be a question that I'll never have answers. Does she have dementia? Actually, I don't know. Am I just coping with being a horrible lawn care provider? Maybe, but it's a question that I'll never have the answer to. But regardless, the world keeps moving on, right? And again, all that to say, just kind of if you're in a situation like this, it's a lesson in, like, just get some space, right? Get some space, clear your head, and just, hang out, chill. Everything's going to work out, man, for everybody, right? I don't know. Anyway, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't show you the clip. I know I talked about it before, but I'm just not going to do that if dementia might be the case. But anywho, thanks for listening. I appreciate you.